it's Ina the Mood Reader, and today we are going to talk about 10 young adult Asian book releases that I'm very excited about, but unfortunately haven't read for this year. So yeah, we all know that reading is a privilege. Especially for us here living in third world countries, we really don't get access to new releases right away, and most of the time they're freaking expensive. Imagine a meal usually costs 50 to 100 pesos and a book costs 1,000 pesos each. And another is that it is a time privilege. Because of being an adult, we don't really get to have all the time that you want to read all the books that you should read, you could read, and that takes a toll on catching up on like all those amazing backlist titles, and of course all those amazing releases year after year. And after 2020 being like a problematic year for most of us, it's been very difficult. It was really a good year still for the book community, for all of these awesome bookish releases. And there's so many books that I really wanted to have read, but most especially like in the Asian author genre, because we all love that representation, and I wish I could pick these books up. But in case you're looking for Asian author recommendations as well, I'm suggesting that we try out these books on the list. I prepared 10 titles for you, and I hope that you enjoy. And if you have read them, please tell me your thoughts about which ones I should read first. So yeah, let's get on to it. The first book is The Henna Wars by Adiba Jaigirdar. And first, what caught my eye is this awesome cover, and also the rivals factor is always like exciting to read. For me, I'm expecting clever banter between the two main characters, because basically what we have here is like two girls who both manage henna businesses, and of course they are rivals. But I think this book has sapphic romance tones to it, so that would be very interesting to watch. I mean to read. So yeah. And the next book is Mad, Bad, and Dangerous to Know by Samira Ahmed. I think I've read one of her works before, but I'm not sure as well. I don't know. I'll check and then I'll share what book it is up here. But Mad, Bad, and Dangerous to Know is a book I've seen floating around Scribd as a recommended audiobook for me. And based on the synopsis, I think this book has like a past and present alternating timelines, and it revolves around two young adults who are struggling to like break societal expectations, cultural norms that they feel like is against their own beliefs, I guess, personal beliefs. And it's also about like trying to be free from that, the patriarchy basically. And it would show like the parallels between how it was addressed in the past and how some of these issues are still rampant in the present time. So it will be an interesting look at different cultures, how time has changed it all, if it has changed any. And of course it would be an educational experience for me. I love like looking into other cultures in Asia and how they like compare to the Filipino culture. And the next book is Dating Makes Perfect by Pintip Dawn. It also has this amazing cover. The blue and the pink are very striking, and I think this book has Thai representation, and I don't know much about Thailand. I just know that many people right now are like into their like series similar to K-drama. I don't know what they call Thai dramas, maybe. But yeah, it would be amazing to explore Thai culture. And it also has one of my favorite tropes, and it's fake dating or fake relationship. I think this one is orchestrated by the parents of the girl being worried about his daughters not being able to have boyfriends or partners in the future. So it's a little arranged and it's also fake. So I love both of those tropes, and we'll see how Pintip Dun interprets those tropes. Next, we have This Is All Your Fault by Amina May Safi. And this book has a very cool premise. It also has an amazing cover as well. I would just like to shout out all those cover artists, illustrators, and layout designers for like really producing eye-catching book covers. And This Is All Your Fault is about three young adults trying to save their favorite indie bookstore, which is amazing. I love seeing female friendship dynamics, because normally in books you see like writers pitting them against each other, and we're no longer supportive of that girl on girl hate. So it's amazing that there's this book that would show what happens when three powerful young adults get together for a very important cause, which of course is books. And we know how this pandemic has affected many bookstores, especially indie bookstores, even here in our country, as we got stuck at home. So I think reading this book sounds interesting, and I hope at the end they would save the day, hopefully. But yeah, the next book is Anna Kay, A Love Story by Henna Lee. And this book has been like one of the like early releases in the year, just when like the pandemic happened all over the world. And I think this is a retelling of Anna Karenina, a classic which I haven't read, so I don't know what the comparisons would be. But this is a highly recommended book. I think it has quite some like high reading numbers, and a sequel of this book is coming out next year. I don't know much about Anna Karenina, so I don't know what to expect, but I'm really interested in getting to read this book. Next, we have Rent a Boyfriend by Gloria Chao. So I have read two Gloria Chao books. I loved American Panda, and I hated the other one. I can't remember the title right now. Not really hated, but it was just like a so-so read for me. But I really loved American Panda. And the first thing that caught my eye again for Rent a Boyfriend is this awesome cover. It's really, really beautiful, and it's really different seeing like real Asians on book covers. Like, whoa, for representation. And yeah, this is pitched as like to all the boys I've loved before, and for everyone who loves the fake relationship trope, which of course I am a fan of. So just the title Rent a Boyfriend sounds so interesting. So I hope I get to pick up this book next year. The next book is Parachutes by Kelly Yang. Again, for the amazing covers, and they say that this book is Gossip Girl meets Speak. I'm not sure if this is Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson, which is like one of the early young adult books that were celebrated in many literary circles. And then Gossip Girl, of course, we all love the show. Not sure about the books, I haven't read them. So I think this is about children of very rich, crazy this is like about the story of crazy rich Asians, but this time they're kids, or they're young adult children that they like ship out to other countries to study. I'm not sure. And yeah, so it will be interesting to read this one. And then the next book, the 8th one, is I'll Be the One by Lila Lee, and it's about a plus-sized K-pop star. And I'm really not a fan of K-pop specifically, but the Korean culture like is interesting to me. And one of my favorite tropes in books is fame, especially if we have leads with famous, non-famous relationships, but also in books dealing with fame and being in a band related to music. I love all of those things. So even though I'm not really a super fan of K-pop, I know I'll be enjoying this book. I also, of course, am ready for more plus-sized characters in the leading roles. So I know and I'm hoping that Lila Lee did something good here with body positivity. Yeah, so I want to pick up, and of course, look at the girl on the cover. She's really adorable, and the yellow things really is bright, catches my eyes. And you know, we don't really get plus-sized Asians on covers. I hope that we have more, especially Southeast Asian representation, but this one for now is good enough for me. So yeah, next is The Kingdom of Back by Mary Lou. I know I should put 2 Mary Lou releases here, so we have Sky Hunter and Kingdom of Back, but Kingdom of Back was released earlier and I haven't read it yet. I loved Mary Lou's Legend series. I also read The Young Elites. I know I have to catch up on Mary Lou titles, so this is like a call out for me. But yeah, I think like I mentioned earlier, for I'll Be the One, I really loved books related to music, and this one, The Kingdom of Back, is about a musical prodigy. So she is like so basically it's about a female protagonist who has musical talents, but it is her brother who got popular, and this book is like a fictional story about her and her musical skills. So that would be interesting as well. One of the Asian releases I wish I got, and lastly, one of the Asian releases I wish I got to read is Where Dreams Descend by Jonella Angeles, who is a Filipino author. This book has been pitched as Moulin Rouge meets Phantom of the Opera, and though I am not that much of a fan of young adult fantasy books, or specifically the fantasy genre, I am a fan of both Moulin Rouge and the Phantom of the Opera musicals. The cover of this is so stunning. I know a second book is coming soon, so I really need to get a copy of this one. I've seen it in fully booked here in the Philippines, so maybe it's gonna be a purchase I'll be doing in the next few weeks or months, maybe next year, to be one of the first reads of the year. So yeah, those are the 10 Asian authored books that I wish I could have read, but it's not the end of the world, I hope. So I hope I'll still get time to read this. Let's try to pledge to read more Asian authored works. And I hope you decide to purchase one of these titles or read them if you already have them. And again, before I end this video, if you have read one of these 10 titles, please comment down below your thoughts and your suggestions. Which one should I read? If there are books I have failed to mention and are also done by Asian authors, please do comment them down below so that I can add them up on the books I want to purchase in the next year. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you on the next video. Bye!